No one discusses a $5 trillion roadway. There's a new group post. Let's examine it and discuss it. During the Chris Larson speeches, I came across this tape. Phil Quack's words. We learnt about CME from Mikl. Getting Brad Garlinghouse to talk about CME. We learnt some fresh information on Black Rockck from Ripple Van Winkle. They now have $10 trillion under their control. I learnt more about In the End, It Becomes Eerie. A film devoted solely to Xrp will be produced. Everyone, let's get started. Satoshi Scoop is the source of this. Let's show them love. Let's accompany them. I want to do everything in my power to support each of these sites. The $5 trillion highway goes unnoticed. When most people hear the term Xrp, they typically think about payments. Ripple is already a part of the real game, which is a corridor that moves $5 trillion annually. This secret is not for you to see. They are simply displaying this tiny image. Banks use the underutilized route to transfer funds between Europe, the Middle East, and Asia Pacific. The transit of more than $5 trillion annually through this corridor is essential to global settlements. Ripple has already constructed the railroads that will link them behind the scenes, while the rest of the world is battling over cases. Why is this important? Banks continue to employ funds such as SWIFT and Nostro Vostro. It is outdated, too expensive, and takes too long. Place a wager on Ripple is to switch from pre-funded to Xrp-based on-demand funding. The test went online this quarter. Currency prices in various nations rise due to inflation and other issues. Accordingly, there may be anywhere from $20 trillion to $27 trillion locked up in Nostro Vostro worldwide. That money has lost its value. It's not being utilized to its full potential. Do you ever notice what appear to be brand new skyscrapers when you're driving down the street? Additionally, in the center is an antique liquor store that has been in business for 30 years. The optimal use of that land is not that. When will that be demolished and replaced with a better structure such as a park or a new building, so that people can use it? The same thing is happening to our banks as well. Looking around now, you can tell that SWIFT is a bit speedier. Either today or tomorrow, it will occur. Even though many of those payments are, it's still an extremely costly transaction. If we could make that even faster, it would only take 3 to 5 seconds and the cost would be reduced to $95. If you truly wanted to, you could even reduce it to pennies. Naturally, these banks and other establishments will charge dollars to transfer that value, but you can obtain all of that Nostro Vostro money and drastically reduce the cost of conducting business. On this show, I discuss this a lot. Think about entering. With $5 or $10 trillion, what could the United States accomplish? Rather than allowing that money to remain in banks and accomplish nothing, those banks may lend it to businesses. Students, home or auto loans, or something different. Users would receive new services and GDP and growth would increase. What I see written on the wall is this. However, they won't confirm whether they're switching to Xrp, Ripple, or XBR. For as long as possible, they won't want to tell anyone. They will remark, "Oh, that takes crypto." It will be this new approach. We missed to say what we meant to say. I apologize, everyone, I was not listening. This is how things are being done now. What on earth? I thought, what the heck? 5 years ago I saw you. It's my responsibility to listen. I play here. Let's wait and see. Please return to this. Not on course. SBI Remit announced that it would use Xrp to facilitate money transfers between Japan and the Philippines, Vietnam, and Indonesia starting in 2021. As evidence of its size, Ripple purchased a 40% share in Trangolo. In 2021, on-demand finance launched in 25 Asia-Pacific quarters. How about Thunas? Do you also see him? Thun has expanded and grown, thanks to Ripple's technology. Every year they have expanded by 50%, 50%, and 50%, which is a significant number. They serve 130 countries and deal with 90 different currencies. I'll get this right away. I don't want to quote incorrectly because I saw 90. I observed 80 distinct coins from 90 different nations. I intended to say that. I apologize. Additionally, there are 320 payment methods compatible with Ripple. Let's return to this shortly. Thailand's status as a peaceful nation. The Japan-Thailand trade corridor was extensively tested by Ripple and CM Commercial Bank. In fintech news, The IMF discussed the entry to the West, but Ripple signed it in the UK and EU. Real-time sharing and receiving of euros and British pounds was made possible by this. As a result, Ripple became a means of trade between East and West. This news report regarding Finstra discusses Ripple's collaboration with Modular to enhance the payment system in the UK and Europe. Additionally, it claims that states are moving towards Ripple. It isn't limited to banks. Coverage of the MasterCard blog, CoinDesk, and the MasterCard CBDC Partner Program, the CBDC pilot in Bhutan, the beginning of Ripple. The backed stablecoin is the Palau USD. Many of these programs are being carried out in smaller nations to demonstrate their effectiveness to the US, EU, France, and World Bank. This leads me to believe that a large number of them are trials. For the larger nations, they are employed. We are able to burn, mint, and generally monitor the supply more closely than you are. People everywhere want to know what the government does with all of the tax money it receives. Perhaps this will improve understanding and foster public confidence in the government. I don't think that will happen, and it didn't sound good. Dick, what does it mean? Ripple was working on some of the world's quickest trade lines, including those in the UK, trade finance, East and Southeast Asia, and more. There was a lot of interest in its cases, as well as the EU. Both stablecoins and CBDC were able to use it. The whole picture. The backdoors to a $5 trillion trade flow are hidden behind what appears to be a way to transfer money back to relatives today. Ripple was substituted for SWIFT. The trains were constructed to be invisible. Satoshi Scoop's post was excellent. Many thanks, my friend. Let's hear this out. This is Cry. Arson being questioned regarding the A place to store cash. The idea that it can be utilized to hold value is already a shift, isn't it? Many individuals are curious about its purpose. All right, so that's it. One of a kind. People or things might have worth but not grow in this world. Why would you want money when someone asks, what's that thing about money? Don't joke around, please, because it is important to a lot of people worldwide. These things are already known to us, are significant on their own, and will have a greater impact on the global economy. It's okay. All right. Mikl would like to discuss XRP. What if the most well-known thing ever is XRP ETFs? Play now. At the moment, more individuals are interested in the CME than Bitcoin. This market most likely resembles a store the least. XRP is more prevalent than Solana and Ethereum. We are going to discuss a significant sum of money, friends. We discuss the upcoming XRP ETFs, which are anticipated to generate between $8 billion and $9 billion. Based on what we can see from the CME, I wouldn't be surprised if the XRP ETFs were among the most well-liked ETFs ever. He's probably not wrong, guys. Most likely, he is not incorrect. I think he's headed in the correct way. $14 million worth of XRP futures options are available. What's this swoosh and happy face thing? What does that signify? I don't think that's true.